And we're live. Welcome to Bears Country Podcast on Bears Country Productions. Because we have a lot of stuff coming on this channel. We have the British Bears as well. Looking to get back with Lynn for the lowdown with Lynn again, but that's why it's productions and why this show is podcast, for anyone wondering. It's an undefeated preseason. Got a little close there at the end. Not sure how I feel about that. You know, going into that final couple of that final quarter, it looked like we were going to kick their ass like we did. With the first game, I kind of don't really count because it got rained out, but we won by I forgot the score. But the next game, it was like 33-6, and then like 27-3 or something, and then it looked like it was about to be, something crazy again.
Yeah.
So basically, what we found out today, Foster, right, is that our second and third string is better than the Chiefs, but their fourth string is better than ours, right?
Yeah, you could say. Yeah, I guess I'll go with that. I just our depth is much better than anybody thinks. I believe. There's gonna be by mid-season, maybe a little earlier. You're gonna see a lot of these guys that are on the Bears. I'll bet you there's 5 to 7 of them that are going to be playing on other teams, just because the talent that we have is amazingly stacked.
My cousin texted me, Steve.
Stever? Yeah,
and he was like, "Are they going to keep Stewart, number 46, with the 2 picks?" I'm like, "What? No, he's not making the team. He might make the practice squad,
but he'll get picked. That's going to get scavenged. Who's ever on it's going to get scavenged.
Yeah.
An injury here or there, that's what's going to happen. I mean,
especially in anything coming from our secondary, for sure.
Well, we've already seen it the last 2 years, man. They got us early and often, and then last year was a little more even. The tackle, I can't remember his name, and I really liked him. He's on the Chargers, the Rams, Chargers, I think. And then Bell, they got Bell and a couple guys last year.
Whoa, Foster, who? We got a super chat here, guys.
Way too rough.
Bears for the win, baby. Great start to the season. I love the culture more than the preseason wins.
That's dead on. I agree with that statement completely.
100.
The culture, the hustle, the nonstop, the heart. What about Hardy tonight, man?
Dude.
Another guy. PJ,
we're in the middle of a super chat, my man, from Way Too Rough. Do you guys know Way Too Rough?
No.
I do
thank
not.
You, Way Too Rough. Appreciate it, man.
I don't remember seeing you in our chat before, Way Too Rough, but if it is your first time in here, and whether it's not or it is, thank you very much for. It would be even more impressive if it was your first time and you super chatted us. So thank you very much. I appreciate that. That's very kind of you. And welcome to the show.
Absolutely. And then
Stockton 209. You hopped in at the right time, Peach, because we were just about to start getting to chat.
Yeah.
We got 71 watching already.
75. All right. Got Brew-Ha 7. Bearski Films. We got Mr. Shorty.
Cliff Victoria. Ooh. Cliff never cooking Victoria.
No, Cliff always cooking.
Or never not cooking. Sorry.
Never not cooking, man.
Yeah, never not cooking.
I was talking to Cliff earlier. He's gonna buy some beef. I forgot what he said. I was on Adam Mason's.
Minister
Charles
Johnson.
Doug Van Dorn. Great to see you again. Charles Johnson. Thank you. Great to see you guys again.
209 Bravo.
Stockton 209 Bravo is another one that seems a little new to me. Way Too Rough. I do remember you now. Thank you very much. not sure if I remember Stockton 209 Bravo, but thank you for joining us tonight. By the way, the night that you missed, Foster, B. Foster super chatted us twice.
Brendan
Yeah.
Foster.
That's because he was happy not to see me on here.
Yeah. He's trying to buy you a pack of cigarettes.
Well, I never gave. I think I told you guys some of what happened, but I just got
Yeah, you fell down the stairs
in my ankle, and then I took a gummy, and it wasn't doing it, and I took
another gummy,
Tramadol, and I was like, ooh.
You guys are
just going and drooling on myself, huh?
You guys are your
kind of like normal, but plus drool.
PJ, I have to know, just for the record, that is the only number 1 jersey you have, right? You're not like secretly flipping on. You didn't go change and put on a Fields jersey.
My lips are sealed, brother.
Oh, you did.
Isn't that like a German virgin? Never mind.
I feel like that's a different jersey than you had on to begin in the pregame. Okay. Let's see the back.
No, sir.
Come on, Dad. Let's see the back.
No, sir.
True.
Charles Johnson gets a little. He's going fishing tomorrow with a diehard Kansas City Chief fan in the morning. He's like, "This is going to be fun."
Yeah.
Finally got something to say to these frickers from Kansas City.
Tell them we'll see you in the Super Bowl.
I'm just, they're gonna easily say this preseason game, which they have a valid point. So
I don't even want him to get there.
I mean, if you think about it, last time the Bears won the Super Bowl, they went 0-4 that, or 0-6 or 0-4 that preseason.
0-4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man.
Because we all know preseason means nothing.
I know.
The record means nothing.
It's so ridiculous, right? How we are about this. Hey, we're doing a pregame and a postgame preseason game show. Well, it is our normal night on Thursday night, so we didn't veer away from that. But it's like the excitement, and it's crazy. Then you see a Hard Knocks commercial during the game, so it's like all Bears. Yeah. It is. Man, what a great. We deserve this, man. What a great time it is to be a Bears fan right now.
I'm just fearful of exposing too many blitzes to where the teams can now plan against it, because it's like we blitzed a whole lot this preseason. I mean, a whole lot. It is like, okay, we're going to try that during the season. Now the teams know how to plan against it. Way too rough.
Way too rough with another super chat. You can see the fire in this team, and it's passing down to the second and third teams. Passion and culture equal winning. We are developing winning habits. What is that, OBJ? How did you do that in the middle there? Winning OBJ habits? That's weird. That's cool however you did that. But I mean, again, nailed it.
Yep.
You drove the nail into the wood with one strike on that comment again. That's perfectly said.
Way too rough, because he always hits it hard. I'm just guessing.
J2K mentioned in the first show in the pregame that if you don't see Velas, you know that they're keeping him. And then we didn't at first, so I was thinking, oh well, maybe that's true. But then we saw him pretty much the rest of the game. Like what? The entire second half.
Yeah, pretty much.
I think they're trying to get him used to playing that running back position. Because if you notice, until tonight, he hesitant in the hole. He wasn't hitting it hard, and then as he kept playing, he was hitting that hole hard and confident. It kind of changed his Shut up, PJ, man. You're in the gutter.
You had to emphasize the two part. Foster, you had to emphasize. He was hitting that hole hard too. He was hitting it hard.
Like you said, Peach, I give you a ton of material for your stand-up.
I'm telling you, man.
You don't knock it off, PJ.
Oh, Peach, wait, I'm gonna
Don't
cut this out. I'm gonna break this up so everybody can hear this one.
It's far too early for this shit, PJ.
So right before the show, Peach, I had a friend of mine sitting here. He stopped by and he's like, I showed him the house and he's freaking out because I've known the guy since like 1970, 71.
Jeez.
And he's never seen the house like this. And so Dan goes, dude, I got to ask you one question. And my buddy Jerry's going, well, okay. He goes, are there bodies behind that paneling? But the best. No, you're coming back on for that laugh. The best part was his answer. Because he never really answered me. He goes, after all this time, I can't answer that one way or another. A lot of things have happened around here over the last 50 years. You'd be surprised some of the stuff that happens. And then he goes, the house right next door to Foster's? He's like, yeah. He goes, well, I drove my car in that basement one time.
I go on accident. He's like, oh yeah.
Dude, I have never been woken up in my bedroom, at 7 a.m. on a Sunday to see a crane picking up a car out of the house next door. And it really happened. And the car was bent. The car was bent like this. And his father straightened that car out and he drove it another 5 years and sold it. God.
Oh my goodness.
This was a crazy fun neighborhood to grow up in. I will say that.
And the funniest part about that, he was dead serious in his answer. He's like, well, I can't really say. Like he was
without
like
certain.
I'm like, do you watch the show? He's like, I don't even know what you're talking about. And so I asked him that question. He was just like dead. Totally real response. Like, I pretty much can't vouch for that either way.
Too bad we didn't film that. Would have been a nice
I'm
little
telling
segment
you.
throwing the Gacy walls.
Great.
Foster gives us too much material, man. I'm telling you, he gives us more than enough material. I'm telling you.
I was about to say, do you want to hang out on the show? And then he was like, I'm getting the fuck out of here. He kind of left.
The good thing is we're so messed up and everything that we can't remember everything. So he bailed because he didn't want to have any pressure on him.
Oh, I fully understand. So
131 in the chat.
I was just gonna say that 131 people watching. Do you want to answer the Velus Jones question right now? I know you're dying to answer the question.
On whether
does he make the team?
I say yes. I mean,
they kept, man. I tell you what. One thing was clear. They have been trying to maximize Velus Jones' talent this preseason for sure.
Agreed.
And
although I really haven't seen him in a wide receiver role. I haven't seen him in a wide receiver role though.
But you did mention it in text while we were like watching the game. You said put him in a wheel route. It's like, oh.
I guess they're waiting for that for the season though. But I haven't seen him like really catch anything. Now I've seen him do a gunner last week. He was a gunner, on kickoffs. So I mean, yeah, I think two things for certain: Velus made the team. Homer didn't make the team.
I can agree with that. I mean, I think that's one of the things why they're looking at so many guys with these angles is to squeeze one more spot out of there. And have a player that's going to be able to play on special teams to get an extra spot. It'll basically give him an extra spot. If you've got a guy who's your third or fourth player on offense or fifth player, and he's also something key on special teams, that leaves Homer out, and that basically turns Velas into 2 spots instead of 1. Or you could throw a few other names on there too, because there's other guys. We've got plenty of returners.
Who was the guy that got hurt?
Coleman.
Coleman, you said? What position did he play?
Offensive line, I don't know. I can't remember. He's the guy from Canada.
I know he got hurt. The one guy from Canada, like a couple of weeks ago, number 60.
Not the running back. He played in the the CFL for like 3 or 4 seasons and was.
Yeah, he's not an offensive lineman though. He was like a defensive back, wasn't he?
Okay, yeah.
They
were on defense, weren't they?
Yeah, because they was talking to Warren, so I have no idea.
That's right when my buddy came and I was on with Adam Mason, so I
gotcha.
I shouldn't say that. I just
just
caught the name and I heard him say
Douglas
he just
Coleman.
spent 3 years in the CFL. So,
Douglas Coleman is a safety.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Cornerback.
Thank you, Doug.
In the CFL.
He wasn't the one who batted down that ball, right? That wasn't him.
You're right.
That was Colbert. Colbert,
Last
right?
week?
No, who patted down that pass, that deep pass in the game tonight. Number 25.
Yeah.
That Kansas City long pass that the safety came out of nowhere and batted down the ball.
I watched 3 quarters and I tuned in and out on the 4th because I was getting ready for the show. And
it was truly the highlight of the game. He batted down the ball out of nowhere.
Yeah, he came from nowhere, that's for sure.
I'm ashamed of myself.
I thought it was KC touchdown until he came out of nowhere.
Exactly. That was Colbert. Oh, okay. Doug Van Dorn says Coleman, number 38. Okay.
Coleman.
All right. Mm-hmm. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it, man.
I know it was Coleman. There's just so many names, man.
And then I know it gets confusing because there's Ian Wheeler wearing 33 and there's a 33 on defense. I think
they certainly saw a lot of guys tonight in this game. A lot.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I don't agree with that victory
for this season.
I'm like, this is the last time some people will never play football. So
and I'm sitting here watching the game with my wife, and she's only been doing this with me for like the last 15 years.
I'm so sorry, Kitty.
And the forward pass, she's like, when what's his name? Rippin, he had the illegal forward pass. She's like, "What's that?" I'm sitting there. I'm trying to explain to my wife the illegal forward pass, and she just didn't get it. Like she's like, "I don't understand. Why can't you just throw the ball from anywhere on the field?" Because I'm like, it would make the game ridiculous. She's like, "So what? I want to see that." I'm like, "Well, we don't."
It's kind of like trying to hit on your buddy's wife. That's an illegal forward pass.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, now you're going to tell me this?
But it's just crazy that you can be with your wife for that long and be constantly teaching her football. You're always watching the games together, and you're just and then she's just like, "What's the forward pass?" And then there's like a half an hour discussion about it. I think I lost some of the game somewhere because I was explaining an illegal forward pass for 25 minutes.
Nope, because there's certain things. I mean, woman can watch, and I just can sit there and pretend like I'm watching, and have no clue what they talking about. I'm like, just. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I can get how he can watch the same game, watch a game, and have no clue what's going on because I've learned how to do that myself. I'm like, mm-hmm. Oh, did you see? Did you see how she? I'm like, mm-hmm, sure did. Well, what do you think about it? Whatever you think.
Cliff's got to come in with the comment. Women, you can't kill them.
This is mine. I've been saying this since I was like a teenager. Like, women can't live with them. Can't live with them.
Yeah. That's why I live with them in different residences.
That's why I make it so I could travel 4.5 hours to see one of them.
Safe zone, man. Different states.
Yeah.
I'll tell you,
By the way, Shorty, I'm going to need one in, I don't know, Georgia or Florida. If you can help me out.
Well, just
Foster,
depends on what state you come visit us in.
That's
What's up,
right.
man? What's up, Mayhem?
those of you in the chat, I want you guys to know the biggest player on this whole panel is Foster. I'm trying to tell you,
Jesus.
y'all. Foster is the man. I'm trying to tell y'all. Y'all wouldn't believe it, but Foster is the man.
Listen, the amount of teeth in the mouth do not matter to Foster. So he's hitting everything. Foster is like the hottest guy around with these broads.
I'm telling you, only thing he turned it down is his collar. I'm trying to tell you.
I don't even have one, Peach. I don't even have one.
Foster is the man, y'all. I'm trying to tell y'all.
It's a good thing you can't see how red I'm turning.
He knows we're telling the truth about him right now. I'm trying to tell you. Y'all sleep on Foster.
Oh, man. What is this? It's better.
Carl's like, oh, dude, are you up yet, old man? I'm like, up, dude. I've been up running around since 8. It's 8 o'clock at night. I'm ready for bed when this show starts.
Look, way too rough here. This is because housewives of New Jersey don't take that much thought. Oh, man.
I saw Brandon Foster. It's my nephew.
It's true.
He said something like he spent 20 minutes explaining a pick six to his girlfriend and how it works, just like you with the pass. The legal forward pass.
DVD is saying that Eberflus is doing his presser now. Should we pull it up?
Yeah, we can.
I mean, what is he going to really say?
I mean, you're right. What are we going to hear? Well,
we play our second scene, guys. We got to look at some guys, and we're going to look at see, you're going to have some tough decisions to make come Tuesday. So
exactly.
There you go. That's about it.
Chat, you want me to go?
And we're going to have some tough decisions.
Yeah, Cliff wants you to see it, so wants to see it. So,
all right,
Cliff, just go cook something, man, would you?
Man.
Come on, it's close. It's got to be
guys
midnight by you. It's time to throw a meatloaf in the oven or something.
Those guys played hard tonight, and we had a couple of injuries that we got to look into, but they definitely made our decision hard come Tuesday.
Totally.
That would kill me if that's exactly
we're gonna
what
put
he's
number
saying
40.
right now.
We're gonna put number 46 on the practice squad.
No sound, Shorty.
They got some
That's
guys
as loud as I can get it.
They got a couple guys that might not even be playing this season now.
Is that better?
I don't hear anything. I hear zero. You don't hear anything.
He's not talking.
Yeah, he is. Somebody is.
Is that better?
Nothing.
Nothing. Pull it off. Cliff hasn't had dinner.
Cliff doesn't start cooking until right about now.
1 a.m.
That's as loud. Look, that's as loud as it goes.
Those freaking
Is
bastards.
the volume off or something? Like muted? Is it muted?
You can't hear anything.
Nothing.
Oh. Okay, that's my bad then. Try that again.
Yeah.
You don't have.
Can hear it now.
Except for your starters, Zach.
Yeah, it's not as strong as deep as you'd want for sure. So there is a concern there, and we'll be looking at that. As we go. I know Cowart's done a nice job in there. For the limited time he's played, today and then before, and in practice he's looked good. So, we have some options there, but we're definitely going to look at that.
How would you assess the 2 foot?
You guys can't hear it?
Yeah, we can hear it.
Yeah.
Wait till
Beja's
Rep
been
says
good.
he can't hear it.
Beja's been good. And I think the training of all those quarterbacks. You think about Kerry Joseph, Shane, all the guys that are in that quarterback room have done a really good job of training those guys in the system that's new. So you can see those guys going through the progressions. It doesn't matter if it's Reed, if it's Rippon, if it's Caleb. The guys are being taught and drilled the right way, and it's really good to see throughout the entire thing. I always tell the coaches, I said, I'll see what kind of coach you are when there's the guy that's trying to make the team and he's doing things right, and he's going through his progressions and doing things the right way, our way, and not making mental errors. That means you coach them up the right way. So that's really a tribute to the coach and the player. But yeah, they've done a nice job.
You always put a big emphasis on takeaways. Obviously, what did you see from Reddy's 2 picks, especially the pick six?
Yeah, just to step in front of him. He did a really good job, in that particular coverage down there. You don't want to back up, and he didn't, and did a really nice job of moving lateral in front of the pass lane and stepped in front of the one down there in the red zone. The other one was just generated by the pressure. So it was good.
When you sit down to look at how many quarterbacks you want to carry, what role does the new emergency quarterback play in your thought process?
Yeah, it does. If you got some good ones there.
How many quarterbacks
that
you want to
that
keep?
spot, you definitely
He's
can
talking
do
about.
that, and it's an important part. And we feel really good about all of our quarterbacks. They really put some good tape out there, and they've done a nice job.
This whole second half did pretty well today. He seems to have it.
They have. It's amazing. We have all this good quarterback play. I've never seen it like this ever.
4 guys.
Not even preseason.
Yeah, I'd keep 6 or 7 if I could, but we'll decide that as we go. We got a few days before we get to make that decision, but it's a good problem to have.
On the bench, the punt return with Carter, did you get an explanation of what happened there with him?
Yeah, so he was just trying to block, the gunner, and the ball, just had great English. It didn't go anywhere, so and then he ended up getting blocked into it, so that's just what it was. It's a muff punt. That's the rule. So.
A little more. Is there a reason Davis wasn't returning kicks?
Yeah, we've seen enough with him. He's done that several times for us. We wanted to get some other guys some different looks back there. That was it. All right.
We'll bring you back if they go to somebody else.
Cool.
I mean, yes, and just exactly what you said. We would hear. It's not. It's the final preseason game. It's but I was kind of saying it earlier. It's like, what a time to be a Bears fan. Like, it's just you're watching the Bears game, then you see a Hard Knocks. They're like promoting the Bears on Hard Knocks in a commercial, and it's just Bears, Bears, Bears. You just type in Bears on YouTube or Caleb Williams on YouTube, and it's just like everybody is just on notice. That's the best way that I can say it. Like, it's like the NFL's on notice, man. Because this fan base, look at all you guys in here tonight, 180 of you hanging out with us after the game, after a preseason game.
Adam Mace, Destroyer 1320. 10. Bam. Dog.
Thanks for joining us, man. Thank you.
Did you see the private chat there, Shorty?
Nope, never look at that. Thank you.
I'll try to help you out.
Oh, I was going to ask Adam if he wanted a link. Okay.
He just spent 4 hours on the air, dude. He did a pregame and a game cast.
He said first time undefeated since 2022, 2 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah, look at that season. Look at what that season came.
Link sent Adam Mason if you want to hop on with us right now. It's good to see all you guys. Destroyer 1320, thanks for hanging out with us tonight. But like I'm saying, this is my goodness. My goodness.
Well, I mean, I can honestly say I think, to look at the quarterback play from all of them. I mean, all 4 of them, honestly. It's like Waldron, I'm getting a lot of faith in Waldron. I mean, it seems like he really got these guys playing, and this is just a preseason. And I'm hoping that he actually continues this and keep it going to where it doesn't become stagnant. You know what I mean? To where it becomes predictable.
Mhm.
But I've liked what I've seen so far out of Waldron and his quarterbacks.
What is up, Adam Mason?
What's up, Adam Mason?
Did you come in to you had to like you're like so jacked up like all of us are, like you just I gotta talk to these guys right now. Thanks for
That was
joining.
fun. I always tune into your guys' show just to have a good laugh. It's a fun time. I like BCP. I mentioned you guys on my live stream. I don't know if any of you caught that. I think Foster was there for a little bit. So
Yeah, it's only because I brought it up, you meat-eating bastard.
I grilled. I had to take after you guys. I grilled while I was on the air, and I ate meat on the internet, which is like the number one thing they tell you not to do. Don't eat meat on the internet, and I did it, and we survived. Everyone survived.
That was like a 2-minute conversation in the show. We all survived, guys. We survived my meat. That's what he said. I started cracking up, and I go, wait a minute, man. Is this a BCP show or what? And he goes, yeah, well, 4 hours in, it's kind of turning that way.
That was my first time going live for a game. I had a blast. I had a really good time.
It's fun, isn't it?
Yeah, it was a good time.
Man. I haven't been able to do it, 2 years? I think I did a few of them. I loved it, but it's just I couldn't keep doing it. Hopefully we get back to that because I do miss that.
Listen, if you're not able to watch the game, Foster is the person to run that because he gets it like 4 minutes before anyone else. It's just
dude, I was like 3 plays ahead of you, Adam.
Well, what was killing me is I'm streaming on. So when I'm upstairs on my 90-inch TV, it's off the app. But here I'm streaming from NFL Network on my internet, and then as you guys know, when you're talking here, it actually gets to people. If you've ever had your own show on at the same time, you see it's delayed 3 or 4. So I'm sitting here I'm just like, this is so far behind. How do we survived? We survived.
Yep.
I had fun. I'll be honest. I had it on. I gave you the view the entire time. I said bear down in your chat, but I was like watching the game in the other room.
Yeah, you're good. I think I prefer my 90-inch TV upstairs, but it was fun. It was a fun experience to enjoy that with the other fans, and we had a good time over there.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So
I had fun on it, Adam. I did. I listened to it longer than I commented just to laugh at you guys. Especially if you got Cliff in the chat, because just listening to you and then reading some of Cliff's shit, it's always fun.
Cliff needs to go. There's a couple guys. They need to go into the Bears commentary Hall of Fame. There's some good Bears community.
Oh yeah, you are damn right about that.
Man,
we need like a chat Hall of Fame. Oh, that's what we should do.
Ooh.
So, Adam, what was your overall thoughts of the game?
Oh, PJ, you didn't watch my show.
I did. I had to go to the other side of my house.
I'm just razzing you, man.
Just to watch the game itself because I don't want to watch it here. Where I
caught myself.
He didn't come here to talk Bears. He just talked Bears. Like,
I did. But we're good. I caught myself at the end doing my recap because I did a couple recaps for the game. I caught myself at the end of it. I go into ramble mode where I go into I'm serious, like 100 words a minute. Like it's just Brady Stewart. Like I was just like, oh, I need to slow down a little bit because I'm just like giving a full breakdown recap in like 20 seconds, trying to fit this into a YouTube short. So,
well, you got a lot of guys in here that were watching yours. I don't know if they came here from your channel, but if they did, we appreciate you.
We did have some good ones. My biggest takeaways from the game are Velus Jones solidified all the haters, and he's going to make the roster. And Reddy Stewart, there's no way you can cut him now. You can't even cut him to make him to the practice squad. He has to be on the 3-man roster. So all the other stuff up in the air. Who freaking knows? One of the things
wait a second. That's 46, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so I was talking about that in the beginning of the show when my cousin said, "Are we keeping 46?" And I was like, "Hell no, we're not keeping 46." What? You think we're keeping him?
Reddy Stewart?
Yeah.
He hasn't just had number one. He hasn't had just one good game. When Kyler Gordon was out, he was the starting nickel. He was with the starting defense the entire time Kyler Gordon was out. So it's not like the Bears don't even realize this just for the games. For practice, he's been on the first team reps as well.
You think they're gonna keep him over Blackwell?
That's the hard part. I have those two neck and neck. I pointed out those 8 positions There's 8 guys in the cornerback room that should make this. That would make a 53-man roster somewhere. I mean, you can legitimately say 10 of them should be at least on a 53-man or a practice squad, but 8 of them should be on a 53-man roster. And how do you cut? I don't have any clue how we're gonna figure that out. I don't.
either.
You know what, Adam? A few minutes back, maybe 20 minutes ago, I said there's going to be 6-7 guys on this Bears roster that you're going to see on other teams starting playing.
Here's the other thing.
You know, maybe not immediately, but within a few weeks, man, you get an injury here or there.
Yeah,
they're going to be playing because this roster it's more stacked than I said it was a month ago, 3-4 weeks ago. It's more than I thought prior to the preseason.
Here's the other thing I pointed out that a lot of people, I haven't heard anybody else talking about this, but if you look at the roster from last year, the 53-man roster, there's so many transactions from August 29th to September 3rd. Just because we have a great 90-man roster, not all 53 of these guys are going to come from our 90-man roster. So we're going to be cutting down harder than a lot of fans realize. We're going to pick up a couple guys. I brought up Levi Onwuzurike on my channel. I would love to see the Lions cut him. He's a cut candidate. He's legitimately on their bubble just because of his contract where it's at. They're going to have to re-sign a Lee McNeil. And they've got so many rookies that they've drafted. They're so loaded at defensive tackle. We need a pass rusher like him. So if it's not him, we're going to pick up a couple guys from other teams. It's not just from this team that the 53-man roster is going to come from. So it's going to be rough. Cut down. I'm going live on cut down day, and it's going to be rough to see what happens.
Dude, the way that it used to be, I prefer when you have a progressive cut down to where you can kind of like, oh fuck, I really wanted to keep that guy, but and then you kind of like get over it, but now boom.
But we would have had to be down like to 70 by now. I don't like that. I don't like the old way because we would have had to cut down to like 70 by now. And some of these guys that are showing off, you wouldn't have them on the roster right now to be trying to make that final run for the spot. So I don't know. I see both sides of it.
You wouldn't be able to see them. It gives them a better opportunity to get some film on them because you've got these large rosters going into that.
It gives them a chance to run across the field and deflect a pass out of nowhere. Number 25, Colbert.
I was freaking out when that happened. Like I probably went a little more nuts than I needed to, but it was like Superman style flying in there. That was a cool play,
man.
Well, Adam, didn't you just think that it was touchdown KC?
What do you mean?
That play when he
if Adrian Colbert didn't come in like Superman and like come out of nowhere and like it was full on like your little logo of Michael Jordan or Caleb Williams at the top there, like it looked like that sprawling out of nowhere and he came into the screen last second. It was that saved a touchdown for sure.
He definitely laid out for it. I thought that was impressive.
It's been nice to see like all like 3 sets of the depth of our team, like our second and third strings and fourth strings have been better than the other teams we played. I mean, if not for like some mishaps there at the end there on offense, the fumble and it was 34-7 with like 9 minutes to go at one point. So it's like the last game we gave up 6 points, 3 points. Then the game before that, 6 points.
We had a 55-point margin for the first 3 games.
We gave up. What did we do? Give up more points tonight than in the other 3 games?
Yeah, I'm sure.
But it's the same thing. Same thing you're talking about though with those cut downs. If we had those cut downs, we wouldn't have had John Jackson with that fumble.
Yeah,
and really the end of the game came down to the third, fourth stringers that.
Oh, they were gassed too.
Yeah.
Oh, they were gassed.
The real part of the game happened in the first when we blew them out, and it was fun to see.
Yeah. 208 in the chat. Woo! Thank you, guys.
Wow, thank you for hanging out with us tonight, guys. We really appreciate it.
If you guys can hit that like button for us, will you please?
Oh, please do.
Please hit that like.
208 likes would be wonderful right now. What sucks about this is that it's preseason. It's like it's the overexcitement of all of this is just like, well, it's only preseason.
Yeah.
And what makes it worse is now we have to wait 2 weeks. Was it 2 weeks, right? Yeah.
Number 8.
Yeah.
2 weeks.
Going-
I'd rather have a
going-
4-0 preseason than a 0-4 preseason, though.
Yes, it's good for morale.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
I think that it's great for morale.
I'm of the opinion though that I would, I would love to go 4-0, but I don't want to expose too much of our offense or defense in doing it. That's what I'm worried about, because I'm like, our team's going to now be able to game plan against what we showed during this preseason. It seemed like we did like those jet sweeps, like we did to Scott tonight, like we did to Odunze last week. So now are they going to game plan against that? Or, what the blitzes we done, are they going to game plan against that? I wonder that. I mean, I would rather win, but more of a vanilla offense in doing so.
Yeah.
I think there's reasons that they're doing this, Peach. I don't know exactly what they are, but they all, every coach, every player, every person who knows that this stuff is on film.
Yeah.
There's more to it, I believe, than what we're just seeing. I'm kind of hoping it's some type of setup myself. But
Well, I hope, that'd be nice.
Shane Waldron creates a lot of stuff. I don't think
Oh,
we'll see
thank
half
you.
of what he's gonna.
Thank you. You like segued right into what I wanted to say perfectly. For anyone that doesn't have like any idea what our offensive coordinator is like, I implore you to just go on YouTube and find some of the Seahawks offense last year. Just try to see any plays you can find, like any Seahawks highlights. At the very least, you can find them on YouTube for free. Because the kinds of things that he does with his symmetrical formations, to where you never know whether they're going left or right, how long have I been clamoring for the T formation? To me is so sacred, and I think that there is in a modern offense there is a place for it. And the more I watch Shane Waldron's offenses, he basically runs a modern version of it, quote unquote, with 2 tight ends and a running back in the backfield, which, as we know, still equals a T formation. So the kinds of things that are going to come out of this offense this year, and with this extra super dynamic quarterback, thank you, Lord. I'm finally religious, PJ. I'm finally religious. Thank you.
Well,
I'm not buying
All my prayers, all those wishbones I snapped in half, and I just wish the Bears could have a quarterback and win this Hall of Fame quarterback and win the Super Bowl. Snap.
guy goes from religious to being lucky now, worshiping Tebow.
Hey, everything. I need religion on my side on this. I need superstition.
Hey, so I'm really interested and intrigued by. I know we just saw Matt Eberflus say he was taken to the hospital. He's given thumbs up. Doug Coleman, that he's doing good. He's been at the hospital evaluated, though. Anybody else see me? I'm just looking, searching for anything to see if he's. Just want to see if he's doing all right. Because still in the hospital, it makes me worried they're doing tests on him and running stuff. He's not.
Was he hit in the head? I mean, what was the injury? Head? What?
So in tackling, his head bent. He hit with his head, and his head bent. As soon as the hit happened, he rolled. I mean, he rolled over limp. He wasn't even moving. It was scary as crap, man.
Yeah, because I never saw it. I never saw it at all.
I didn't see on the initial play the impact, but they showed the replay, and I saw it right there on the replay, and I was just like, "Holy crap, that doesn't look good." It looks like he went limp, like he was. So if anybody saw anything further, if he's released from the hospital, I want to know, because I'm looking online right now. We saw Matt Eberflus obviously in the post press conference say that he was moving his limbs, gave a thumbs up, but if he's still at the hospital, that makes me worried that they're still running tests and doing MRIs and stuff like that. I didn't have Doug Coleman making the roster, but that doesn't really matter. You don't want to see any player.
Of course not. Right.
You know.
That was brutal. I mean,
Walt, my man Walt, he's in the chat. He says that he's going to be admitted all night, more than likely.
Oh yeah, I bet.
Makes
What's
sense.
up, Walt?
Walter.
It was hard to see like how it happened so quickly.
Yeah,
Just-
you had to watch the replay. The second replay they showed the close up of it, and you saw it pretty clear. It was pretty rough.
Seemed like I never on my copy. I seemed like I'd never even seen the replay at all.
That same here, man.
Wait a
Were you
minute.
guys watching
I'm
local?
watching.
Yeah,
I'm
who was
watching
announcing your
Fox
game,
32
Adam?
Chicago.
I'm in Vegas, so I was watching the NFL Network broadcast, and they were showing a lot of Chiefs stuff.
Oh, okay. Yeah. See, we get the local channel. I had Aleem and Jim Miller
Yeah,
Yeah.
as my announcers, and they was
I didn't get to
doing,
see the Kevin Warren interview. I saw stuff later about Kevin Warren being interviewed about the stadium. That wasn't
Yeah.
online.
Yeah. See,
Yeah.
that was on with the Aleem and
Yep.
Jim Miller. Yeah.
Jim Miller.
Okay.
I didn't know they did that.
Yeah, if you're in the Chicago area, they will not. I mean, they'll show you the local. You can't watch it on NFL Network. You have to watch locally on one of your channels there, and that's what I had to watch it on my local channel. All the games. I've never seen any of them on NFL Network.
My wife and I literally had this conversation during the game. I'm like, no, they just broadcasted from right now because it's the Chiefs are at home. They give us this broadcast with their, probably an ex-player, and it was, and then somebody else that's like local media or whatever.
Well,
But that's what I thought that they did. I didn't realize that they actually had, multiple broadcasts like that.
they did multiple because, like, even I think DVD was watching it on CBS, a CBS affiliate. And
Yes.
what were
That's
you
what I was
watching it on, Dan? The NFL Network, YouTube,
Yeah.
and you too, Adam.
Yeah, I watched NFL Plus. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if you guys got the exact same view because you're not in the same part of. I know it's their.
Well, the Chiefs were the
Telecast.
home team, so I think we got more of a Chiefs view of it.
You too,
Wait a
Dan.
minute.
Yeah, like they did show the replay once that I saw, but they didn't like slow it down or anything. It didn't really, you couldn't really tell how he
Who was your announcer?
ex quarterback.
I was
no.
talking the whole dang time, so I didn't really pay attention.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Jim Miller.
The backup. Okay, remember when the Rams won the Super Bowl?
Mm-hmm.
The starting quarterback that got injured, and
Yes.
then Kurt Warner came in.
Trent Green.
Trent Green. Yeah, it was
Yeah,
Trent
okay.
Green and somebody else. Yeah.
So I'm wondering because again I'm just speculating here. I think if I'm not mistaken, NFL Network will watch the first half for the home team announcers or whatever, and then switch it to the guest announcers. So you have half the game with the Kansas City announcers, then the other half with the Bears announcers. Did you notice a switch at all?
I didn't pay attention that close. I didn't notice a switch, but I was talking too much. I had the volume low, and I
Typical
was
Adam Mason, man.
Hey, that's why people love you. That in the statistics.
Dude, those injuries though. Someone said it's a general rule to keep the odds. Doug Van Dorn said that to keep him for 24 hours. I actually had that happen to me, and they kept me for 24 hours. When I was 18, I broke my back on a snowboarding accident up in the mountains. Yeah, and they kept me. I ended up only being 2 compressed. So actually, it's a miracle for those who don't believe in God. It was a true miracle where. Sorry, not trying to hijack the show, but they took me in. I was paralyzed. They took me off the mountain in like full on stretch and flight me out to the local hospital. They took the first CAT scan and it was broken, like severed. My back was severed. And then lots of prayers and whatnot. And literally 2 hours later, I started getting fire in my fingertips and my toes. And I started screaming, and the doctor came in and he's like, "What's going on?" And I told him, and he said, "You're getting feeling back." They took me back in, and I only had 2 compressed fractures. My T12 and my T13 are permanently compressed, but it was not the same image. It was not the same image that there was before. 2 different images, broken back, and now just 2 compression fractures.
Praise God, brother. Praise
Total miracle, 100% miracle.
Like when I did shit like that in the Stone Age, when I got hit by a truck and broke my neck, and I went to the hospital like 3 days later. The good thing I was drunk too. I really could have been hurt. but the guy's like, he's like, you got what is it, a fractured C6? And I'm like, what does that mean? He goes, what do you do for a living? I'm like, I'm a roofer. And he's like, you're not anymore. I'm like, why? And then he's telling me about what he's like. Yeah, you could end up a quadriplegic, dude, because if that hits your spinal cord, and then they just tell me to leave. You're done. That's it.
Get out of here. Nothing we can do for you.
They didn't really do shit. And then like I took 2 years off and I went back into construction. I've still been there ever since. Different eras. That was like in the 1600s or something. I don't even know what I'm saying.
Cliff Victoria says drunk people usually live. They're like flexible. Yeah, because they're like totally like, you know, there's no resistance. They're just just go with it.
Can I just say something real quick here? I just got to say, thank you, Adam, for that story. And Shorty, if you don't believe in God, after listening to Adam's story there, bruh, you got to believe there's a higher power and it is God. That's all I got to say.
I never said I didn't believe in a higher power, but yes, you are correct. I repent.
Well, my buddy that came over, we were talking, and it came up. I don't know if you remember hearing. Well, maybe you missed this, Dan, because we were talking about all the stuff that went on in this neighborhood when we were younger. And he goes, man, we're both lucky to be sitting here still alive because we should have been dead at least 10 times for the stupidity. And that's a higher power's got a plan for both of us, because why are we still here? So get on.
Absolutely. Dude,
Adam, same thing, dude. That could have been severe.
You said it was severed, though. It was severed, then it was healed. So, man, that's
like literally a miracle.
Yeah,
it was a true miracle. Yeah.
Oh, dude, that's awesome.
Very lucky. So we used to go up in the mountains. I don't know if anybody's familiar with snow. I grew up in Utah, where it's just beautiful, just snow.
Yeah.
And so when I was going to college up there, I was 18, first year of college, and we just go up in these mountains, Fairview Canyon. I don't know if anybody knows Utah, but it's just powder. And when it's powder, you just ride through the trees. And if you wreck, if you try these tricks, and if you wreck, it's powder, so you don't get hurt as much. So we would jump. I mean, by the time I'd been snowboarding for 7-8 years. By the time we were up to it, we would jump off these jumps and go over 20-foot pine trees and do double flips and do all sorts of crazy crap. And man, everybody's sharing some crazy stories. And Doug Van Dorn, Foster, like it's crazy. As we went on the last run of the day, it kind of iced over and the sun was going down, and my board slipped off the end of the ramp, and it was over a 20-foot pine tree. I ended up going right through the middle of the pine tree. In the back of my neck, I landed right on the back of my neck, and my nose touched like right here, like, and the air goes out of you, and it was just, I remember the sound, and everybody was just like, oh, he just lost his breath. But then once I was sitting there, realized I couldn't move. Like, it was the biggest panic of my life. It felt like 10 hours in a 1-hour stretch. I literally just laid there, and I had to, like, a couple of guys were EMTs that were with me, and they put some boards together, and they shouldn't have moved me, but they did. They took all their clothes off and they padded the boards with them, and then one of them braced my neck, and they put me on the boards and they slid me down to where the helicopter could come in. And yeah, it was pretty crazy. It was a very wild experience. Like, jeez,
that is awful.
Yeah, it was crazy. That's 23 years ago.
Wow. Here you sit.
And I still went and tried out for college football after that. And I ended up going on a ecclesiastical mission for 2 years. Part of that as a result of that. And then I'm just, here I am living life. I mean,
doing bear stuff.
And let me just say one thing there. That's, skiing and snow and stuff like that. That's not real popular with the brothers. I just want to put it out there.
How about wakeboarding? Because I got some good wakeboarding too, PJ. I got some good wakeboarding stories, but I hear the brothers don't like the water very much either. Not trying to be too stereotypical.
Man, I'm trying to tell you.
I love skiing, and
I've been to places
like Michigan, Idaho, Colorado. I've been skiing since I was 10 years old, man. It's one of I don't do too much. I haven't done it that recently because I've got ailments. I'm freaking old, dude. That stuff catches up.
So here's the irony. So I
Oh, wait, I wanted to say one more thing, Adam, about you when you kissed your belly button. I bet your girlfriend was like, "Wow, he's really flexible."
But here's the irony. I didn't do any more tricks forever. Like I was pretty decent trick writer, like do all sorts of crazy stuff. After that, I didn't do it forever. And then finally, when I was like 27, 28 years old, I decided to build up the courage. And Bryan Head is a local ski resort. It's kind of where I grew up, but only 2.5 hours north of Vegas still. So I still go there all the time. It's a beautiful resort in southern Utah. So I go there and I decide I'm gonna get gutsy. And I start doing some tricks again. I just start going off some jumps, do some 5-10 jumps, go off some rails and start doing some tricks again. And then I start feeling comfortable. So I decide to do a couple of flips. And first couple times I landed, goes really well. And then like the third or fourth time I slip, I landed right on my shoulder and I broke my AC joint. I broke it. I tore it right in half. I haven't done any tricks ever since then. I'm done with trick riding. I just go for fun now. It's just go enjoy it. I'm getting too old for this crap.
I've got an old, like, classic Burton snowboard in my shed back from the late 80s, early 90s.
For those of us who don't know, what's a Burton snowboard?
Burton, it was he was like a snowboard champion, right? Like it was like a Tony Hawk kind of a guy, right? And he had his own.
Man, he was the man back in the day.
Yeah. I broke my thumb. I hadn't been out for a long time on a snowboard, and I was going down like wobbly, and this girl comes with skis, just like a total bitch, just right across the top of my board, just to freak me out, and it's just like, and I went down, and my thumb went right into a snow pole, like a ski pole hole. As I was tumbling down the mountain, I was trying to and I grabbed, and my thumb went right into a hole, and I broke my thumb. That was the last time I went snowboarding.
Thumbs don't count. You got more of them.
Where'd he go? He kicked himself off.
Adam just told us he broke his fucking back, and you're telling us that you broke your thumb? Get out of here.
Yeah, get the fuck out, man.
I didn't mean to hijack the show with my story of breaking my back.
We're talking about dying, and you bring up a thumb? I'll cut this one off and sew it back on in the morning. It's happened before.
No, that I believe. That I believe.
Cliff. I had a friend walking on my back and she broke a rib. Almost worth it. That's a different kind of pleasure.
Now you're getting into my area, though,
That's
Adam.
kinky.
You're getting into my area.
That's Foster's expertise there. The biggest player of us all. Foster.
Fractured ribs, sometimes they're worth it.
Oh man!
I'll wait for the day when Foster tells us. Back in the day, I was actually a porn star.
Wait, is this a true story?
Foster, and I'm telling you, I'm waiting for it.
I'm still carrying the mustache, man. That's why I carry this thing.
It's crazy how quickly that grew back. Last week, that was just like just a big handlebar stash. It was. I could not focus.
Last week was when I fell on the stairs and shit.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So it was 2 weeks ago. Okay, never mind then.
Jeez.
It looked. I couldn't. I like the entire show. All I could do was stare at your total. It was like the time that you shaved before you did the playoff beard. It's just like I can't get over it. Let's just talk about Foster's face all night.
Yeah, that's what he was doing. And then I'm like, dude, go back and look at like the first shows 2 years ago. And that's what I was wearing. He's like, damn it, you're right, you were. He pulled up the shows even.
I'm telling you.
Freshly shaved vagina. That's what he called me once to start a show. That was the opening of the show. Hey, what's up, Peach? And we got Foster. He looks like a freshly shaved vagina. That was the opening of the show. The Bear Show, dude.
At least I kept it tasteful. I didn't.
Yeah, I guess so.
I didn't swear.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's one way of looking at it, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh God, I love hanging
So,
out with you guys.
Did I miss where Carl is tonight? Is he too drunk off his butt to join the show?
No, I don't know. I don't know why he said he just couldn't do it. I think he was tired.
I don't know. He was busy. He was on with Aldo all night last night. So
Yeah.
Man.
Uh,
So with the first half, I mean, looking at Bajan, I think like I was speaking on Waldron again, I'm liking what he's doing with the quarterbacks. I'm seeing like he's strong on the play action and the rollout. And I think he has changed the angle of the rollout to where it's like deep, but yet then you attack the line of scrimmage when you are rolling out. Something that, seemed like he's giving that much more of a detail. And I've noticed that all preseason long from every quarterback.
Is his two mishaps just because of Travis Homer, or is there a bad connection there between those two, or why was he so bad on those two throws? Other than that, he looked awesome.
yeah,
I think Travis Homer has just been off this whole preseason. I haven't seen nothing that I'm willing to risk or put a roster spot for him for. I mean, Travis Homer just has done nothing. It's like I seem like I don't know. He's not locked in, whatever it is. It seems like he's just not there.
And then when you got players like Ian Wheeler stepping up on the pass blocking, that's the biggest thing special teams for Travis Homer, but then his pass blocking ability to protect the quarterback. Then Ian Wheeler stepping up. Ian Wheeler looks like a seasoned vet back there when he has to catch a block. Like he steps up and makes a hit. So I just don't see the value of Travis Homer. And both those plays, you can't blame it all on Travis Homer because the one was at his feet. Tyson Bagent was clearly way off, but that was the very beginning of the game. Now the other one was behind him, but he had both hands on it, so he should have brought it down, but it was behind him.
Yeah, hit him in the shoulder. I mean, like hit him in his shoulder. As
but it was right here, but through his hands.
It hit him in the shoulder. You got to catch that, man.
But his back shoulder, I mean, it wasn't the easiest. That's what I'm saying. Both of them, he should have caught it, but it was still a bad pass. Other than that, Tyson looked great, but when it came to Travis Homer, he didn't look good.
Yeah, it didn't look good at all. But I tell you what, Ian Wheeler's story and his play, he's got to be one of my favorite guys I want to make the team. Given the fact that here he is, got a guy like the Kansas City guy from a couple of years ago, a doctor in the making, yet he's taking time out to play football.
Can we call a psychologist a doctor? Is that fair?
That's fair.
Yeah, because they can prescribe you drugs.
Okay, if they can prescribe, I'm not trying to mock on him. He's very intelligent.
No, a psychologist can't. A psychiatrist can.
Yes, psychiatrist can. Yes.
He wants to be a psychiatrist, though. I thought.
I'm just making a joke. He's very intelligent. I have nothing. I like Ian Wheeler. I made a whole video on Ian Wheeler. I love the kid. When I first heard medical school, I thought he was going to become an actual doctor. I mean, a different kind of doctor.
Yeah, like
one that cuts you open. Huh?
Yeah. Or the one that you go to, just to get your blood work done.
Why did you do this, though, Shorty?
Primary physician.
I mean, what do you got him doing there, Shorty? I mean,
the doctor that you go to that they just overcharge you for everything, and then they tell you to go see some other doctor. He could be one of those doctors. Primary physician.
The doctor that tells you to cough.
But all the jokes aside, though, Ian Wheeler and Velus Jones both showed me tonight that they deserve a spot on this team.
My doctor is like 2 years older than me. I think he's like afraid to have me cough, PJ. I think it's just like, this feels weird. We're like almost the same age.
Urs, can you come in here for a second?
Freaking punk.
All right, go ahead, Adam. What were you saying?
No, that's just what B. Foster's saying right there. Exactly my sentiment. A couple big plays. Velus Jones had his play called back from a holding that was like another 20 yards. He would have had like 130, 150 yards in that game. And then Ian Wheeler, Brett Rippon did one too many pump fakes, and Ian Wheeler found himself open in the end zone because he just stuck with the play and just kept moving and shifting. And right in the back of the end zone would have been a touchdown, but it got called back. But yeah, both these guys, they look like the real deal.
I get it's against second, third string. I get it, but they're
Yeah, but
showing what you want to see.
Yeah.
But you see the explosiveness.
Yes.
That's
Exactly.
what I was looking at, is the
The speed,
explosiveness. Yeah, and you have that whether or not you're playing against first or fourth stringers. It's like either you're explosive or you're not, and they were. And I'm very impressed with both of them regarding that.
So you think that's our 4 running backs?
I think we take 5, just like last year. I just think we, instead of the fullback, we don't have a fullback this year. I really don't think Kerry Blazingame's done anything to cement a spot on this roster.
I don't either. But so who's the 5th running back?
Well, you've got Roshan. Are you not counting him? DeAndre Swift, Kerry Blazingame, or I'm sorry, DeAndre Swift, Khalil Herbert, Ian Wheeler, and Bayless Jones.
Oh, see, I wanted to ask wide receiver next, because what are we keeping, 6 receivers?
I think 5 with the stacked top. I think 5 and then 4 tight ends. You can't cut Brennan Bates. There's no way he makes it through.
That's what I was. There you go.
You cut Brennan Bates with his pass blocking efficiency was top of the league. His catching. The big concern I had from him out of college when we first signed him was that he dropped too many passes. But you've seen none of that here in this preseason, even in camp and in the actual stats of preseason games. None of it. In camp, he wasn't dropping balls either. The dude's a freaking magnet. And on top of that, he's a yak machine. Afterwards, he's plowing people
Number 87?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Brennan Bates is a freaking beast, man. You can't cut him and hope to re-sign him to the practice squad. Somebody else will claim him.
He's going to get snagged. Absolutely.
I think that your 5 receivers, according to what you're saying here, the top 3, of course, and then you got Scott and probably Pettis, because Pettis didn't play tonight.
But how do you cut Johnson with 6'6" and the way he can high point the ball?
He hasn't played since the first game, and he's
been injured. But look at him on special teams in that first game too. He had the very first tackle of this, and he's on special teams. He's a freaking beast too. Like he can go down and hit anybody at 6'6" too.
The only problem has been his injury status.
That's fine if we start him on the season on the IR. It gives him more time to develop in a camp body. I'm good with that, but.
That's what I'm thinking.
Man, I can't see us cutting him with his. I mean, look at the kick return or the kick off coverage tonight. That was the one complaint I had. We were awful. It was terrible, and we needed as much help on the. I mean, that was what he was really good at too. Aside from catching the ball and high pointing the ball and being an awesome receiver, I get it's preseason. I get carried away. We all do it. It doesn't mean it's going to translate to the season, but he looked good last year too. He really did. At the end of the year, he looked good.
When we got him last year, I was like, okay, this guy could be plugged in as a 2 or 3 on this team for sure. Because we didn't have a couple of the guys that we got now.
Yeah.
So
Scott,
I mean, that's the only thing that's changed as far as my thing with the wide receiver room. But he's still my top candidate to make the team. But what's his injury status?
Scott, Pettis, Johnson, DeAndre Carter didn't do anything tonight to make me think he should make the roster.
I think Pettis is totally expandable, man. We've got guys who can we've got punt returners, other punt returners on this team. Because that's the only reason he was here. If you think about it, he was returning the punts last year.
But think about it; they didn't play him tonight, so that makes me think that he's probably made the team.
Which one?
Pettis.
Was he injured at all?
Nah, not that I know of.
He had a bunch of plays at the end of the last game, but I didn't see him.
I mean, he was huge last game. He had 2 touchdowns last game.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm thinking he probably made the team.
So you think Velus Jones is going to be a 5th running back?
Oh yeah, he's a lock. He's done.
I say running back / wide receiver.
Yeah, he's a gadget machine, but I don't see him playing wide receiver very much. His primary role will be kick return, and he will get some action out of the backfield on those jet sweeps.
Yeah, but wouldn't you keep him as a 6th receiver then?
Why? When he can't catch the ball?
Because
they've converted.
That's a secret weapon there.
They've converted him to running back.
That's true. It doesn't really matter if he's a 5th running back.
Because we're going to show it. Wait till the season, then we're going to show him at wide receiver because no team would have planned against it.
Man, they must have something up their sleeve for this.
I thought it was interesting that one of the very first things Shane Waldron asked when he was brought over is he wanted to convert Bayless Jones to running back. That was one of his first requests when he was hired on
back in March. That's crazy.
Then
He's
why
been-
did it take him so long to convert?
I don't know.
Is it
Whatever
he
they're trying to
converting
work
to
on.
what, halfway through camp?
Well, but wait, Peach, did it really? Because it took this offseason to convert him.
That's
Was
what,
that
but they
really
did
that long?
about halfway through camp. Because they started him off at wide receiver.
Well, we don't know
Well-
how long they gave him the routes, and we're trying to have him study it. Maybe he was.
Right.
I don't know. I don't know the whole backstory behind it. But
Yeah,
they could have been.
there's and it could be more of like you were saying, they're trying to get him to. Wouldn't it be great if he could play both positions? Because now you've just opened up another roster spot for somebody.
Percy Harvin,
Old Percy, man.
number 12 for the Vikings and the Seattle Seahawks.
I love the idea though of Dante Pettis making this roster after being injured last year, and that's the only. They said they loved him, and he probably would have made the 53-man roster if it wasn't for the injury, and then they ended up having to cut him because of the injury. I love that story because really he was one of the bright moments in 2022 for Justin Fields. He was one of the few things that really clicked, and then it got cut short. And now the redemption story of him coming up, that would be fun to see, even if he has 200 yards the whole season, just making the team and doing some punt returns and getting in there a couple times. It'd be fun to watch.
Yeah, I think there's a great sense of optimism regarding this potential of this offense. I mean, because again, they have been looking very unpredictable, and that's what I really like out of offense. Not because days of old, you always used to say, okay, run, punt. I mean, run, pass, punt. I mean, that's what's the Bears' motto. Run, pass, punt. So now it's like kind of unpredictable, and you have a sense of excitement to what's going on there, and it's like, good, we're finally getting out of that doldrum. And I'm still curious to see how it translates to the regular season, but I'm encouraged from what I've seen so far because again, it's like it's pretty nice. I cannot admit that it's pretty nice and refreshing to see that.
What's up, Iceberg Slim?
Iceberg Slim.
Thanks for joining us.
You better believe on week 1, week 2, they're going to throw the kitchen sink at Caleb and this offense. They're going to test it right off the bat. They are absolutely going to try to slam him. And that's why this defense is so important this year. This defense is going to have to lock it down those first couple games to give the offense an opportunity to be able to break through.
Well, I think that's part of the reason why, we got these speed running backs now that actually to where if they try to, crowd the box, all he needs to do is break one tackle and he's gone because they ain't going to have that safety help back there because they're going to probably have him in that box. So, man, you got Swift, you got Herbert, you got Valus as well as Wheeler. All these guys are burners, man. These guys, they can break one for a touchdown. So, man, that's something they got to be weary of. And then if you do crowd the box, you got these receivers who, okay, you want to put 8 people in the box. Man, we got these receivers to where you want to put them one-on-one. Allen can beat you. DJ Moore can beat you. Odunze can beat you. Pick your poison. So it's a refreshing way to where, we haven't seen this many weapons on a Bears team in I can't say how long. I mean, maybe the closest thing to us is when we had Brandon Marshall and Bennett and those guys, but we didn't have the speed then, but now we got the speed now. So it's an exciting time to see what the offense does. But I am a defensive guy, so.
Yeah, potential's through the roof on this team for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
It's when's the last time any of us have felt like this going into a season? I mean, there's been a few, like, 2019, the 100th season after 2018 and the double doink, which is really a block. That felt like that was an exciting. It felt like we were going to do something. Like it felt like if we would have just won that game against the Eagles, I really felt like it. It just felt like we could have made our way to the Super Bowl somehow.
Easily.
There was a crack, but I'm telling you, man,
it's
that game, man. When he, oh man,
Okay, coming off that,
I was never a Trubisky guy. Okay, I'm like he wasn't the guy ever to me ever.
2018 was a great year for Trubisky.
I know, but I was just he was never the guy ever, never.
How big of a letdown was? I mean, what was more disappointing, trading Justin Fields or 2019 with Trubisky? The way Trubisky came out, I really thought in 2019 Trubisky was going to take the next step up from 18. I really thought I would probably propose 90% of Bears fans felt the same way, that this kid could actually be.
I did not because I watched it so closely. I'm going, man. I'm sorry. I was telling everybody how he stinks all year, and he made the Pro Bowl.
Yeah,
because he had a lot of games with pumped up stats that changed his stats. If you go back and you watch those games, he missed so many throws during them freaking games. I'm like,
yeah, but he
was. You remember the scores of those games and how close those games were, and they shouldn't have been.
Yeah. He was a developing player that was playing really solid, though. Like, maybe I get too hyped up, and maybe obviously with Justin,
he couldn't hit a 20-yard out to save his life, though.
I'm also used to being so freaking critical of Bears quarterbacks because, in 60 years I've seen like one or two of them.
Okay, so now Foster. So a fair question: how do you feel about Caleb after watching him?
I am very high on Caleb. I still have to see it in a fucking NFL game for 60 minutes.
What are the?
And that's with anybody.
Minutes. Yeah,
I think the biggest.
I'm very high on him. The only person I could say I was higher on was Justin. So
you were higher on Justin
really
than you are on
Caleb? Going back to when that draft was, I was afraid we were going to end up with Mac Jones.
Yeah. When we traded up, that was pretty fun.
I'm just going through the whole thing in my head because my mocks, I traded out of that dude, and I ended up with like Creed Humphrey and Trey Smith, and the quarterback that's now on Houston, the backup. What's his name? That's who I got in that draft for the Bears because I did not think that was going to happen. And I was a big Justin Fields guy coming out of Ohio State even. So, but for me, because people have been talking about this lately, is how excited you've been. I'm like, I says, man, the last 3 years have been more exciting than if you take out the Lovey teams, the 22 prior seasons only taking out Lovey's. Because we know what it's been like from 92 till now, minus the Lovey games, DJ. Think about it. It's been pretty crappy.
It's a miracle I even became a Bears fan.
What?
It's a miracle I even became a Bears fan. Like
it is.
That's the time I grew up with and I just grew up with losing football. That's all we had.
Yep. Adam, you can ask Peach, man. So here's the seasons as we're kids: 1-13, 3-11, 4-10, 3-11.
You're talking about every generation of Bears fans, though. They all grew up with the same thing.
That was every season, like in order I'm going through. That's what we got every year.
Yeah.
Until 77.
It was bad.
At least you got to witness a Super Bowl. I was freaking 2 years old when the Super Bowl happened.
Yeah, but just fuck everybody around and claim it.
Oh, I claimed that I was alive for it. I was alive for it.
And I'm so sick and tired of talking about that team.
Yeah,
I so badly want another team to usurp that, or to surpass it. Like, let's talk about another. We kind of reminisce on 2006, but it just wasn't.
I truly believe that's coming, though, Dan.
Oh, it's coming this year, baby.
Believe it, man.
Listen, that's why I'll say it.
Over.
There's 216 people watching. Most of you are on Twitter. Thank you for watching. In case none of you have heard me say this, like I literally think that we are going to win the Super Bowl this year because the Bears are so known for everyone is talking about it. They don't have never had a 4,000-yard passer. Blah 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 blah.
I want everybody to know you've been saying this since the draft.
Yeah.
He's been saying this literally since the first week of May that the Bears are going to win the Super Bowl this year. Because nobody else said it. And then, like, in the last month, I hear all these people talking about they could literally win the Super Bowl. Just saying.
And the reason why as much as I believe, of course the talent is there, but I just see it like so serendipitous. I mean, I was thinking about this, just like, boom, we get two first picks in the draft 2 years in a row. We turn that. Poles turns that into. He turned this team around. I mean, it is absolutely remarkable what he has done with this team in this short of span. It's borderline legendary. So then we end up just Caleb Williams just falls into our lap with a team that was like, we have a Super Bowl defense. We do. And
miracles happen, Pete.
If pretty much all Caleb Williams has to do right now is be better than Rex Grossman.
Sexy Rexy.
Because our defense is just as ready as that defense was in 2006. And I can damn well assure you, folks, that Caleb Williams will be better than Rex Grossman was in 2006.
I feel like this defense is better than 2006's defense, but maybe I'm being too much of a Bears homer.
Yeah, I got to intervene here. Sorry.
I understand, but I really am that high on. Okay, I should preface that if we can add one more defensive lineman, if we can pick someone up in this cut down time, if we can
a difference maker.
Yeah,
I think we're too short, man. A defensive tackle and an end. I really do.
I don't think we're short on the end. I think we're fine on the end.
I think that
if we can add a pass rushing defensive interior, teams are going to be in trouble against us.
There's PJ's guy.
And I said it before. I said it in the pregame, Adam, that I'm glad that they didn't get Judon because I don't want that taken away from Austin Booker.
Oh yeah, I said the same thing. If we end up trading for like a Trey Hendrickson, if we end up trading for a true defensive end one, I want us to trade DeMarcus Walker as part of that package. Unload his $8 million and keep Austin Booker as defensive end 3 to get him his reps.
I agree with that.
I wanted the dude from the Jets. That's all. But
Son Reddick, yeah. I don't think either of them are up for sale. Lawson. The Jets have already said they're not going to trade.
Well, Lawson just signed with somebody.
Oh, Carl Lawson's not.
What I was talking about.
Yeah, he's not. I wouldn't take him over DeMarcus Walker though.
I want to trade DeMarcus Walker part of the trade for Jonathan Allen, and then get me a defensive end somewhere else.
That's interesting. I like that, PJ.
Hey, I'm just saying. I'm
down with that.
With Washington,
have Gervon Dexter play more at defensive end.
Well, I mean, you can use him in a package, but my thought is, what I haven't seen in these preseason games, I haven't seen any interior pressure from Gervon Dexter.
Well, and he's played limited snaps. He hasn't played a lot of snaps. He's got. I think he's had 2 pressures in.
That's what I said. I haven't seen a lot of pressure, and that's concerning to me.
But I'm with you on that one.
I think if you get a Jonathan Allen, you can get the guy, get that pressure up the middle, and then whoever that other defensive end is, be it Booker or we bring in somebody else who can actually play against the run as well. Then you got Sweat on the other side. Now we're talking a Super Bowl caliber defense. I think that's what's holding us back, is that right there. Those 2 pieces, getting me a proven 3 technique who can actually get that consistently get that pressure up the middle, and then another pass rusher on the outside who can also play against the run. Because you got Walker right now who can play against the run, but he ain't all that good in pass rush from the defensive end spot. Or you got Booker, who's a good pass rusher, but he still needs help on the when they rushing the ball. So
I'm really liking Hardy.
I like Hardy as well, but I'm wondering how will he do against first stringers as opposed to second and third and fourth stringers.
The thing is, Booker has played better against the run this preseason than I expected him to. I don't think he's just a pass rushing defensive end. I think he's a 3-down defensive end. I think he's going to be really special. It's just a matter of getting him reps. I don't think you're going to see him take off for the first. Just like in college, what happened was his second or third game, he started getting a couple sacks, and they had to give him more time. And as they had to give him more time, he just kept earning that spot, earning the reps. He just kept doing it. I think the same thing's going to happen. He's going to prove himself against Colts offensive line, who's a really good offensive line. He's going to prove himself against the Rams. Then all of a sudden, you've got to start giving him more reps on 5th, 6th, 7th week. I think Booker's really going to be a presence.
Yeah, I'm liking what I'm seeing. I can't deny it. I like what I'm seeing.
I agree with you.
I'm just questioning how will he hold up against starting left tackles. You know what
I think he'll be fine on the pass rush against starting left tackles. His long arm and his moves that he has look really polished. But setting the edge against number 1 tackles, that's going to be where the rubber meets the road. I think he needs some reps to get that. And I think it's going to take half a season to really get that for him. So
well, we had
Just
that problem last
start
year.
playing that division.
We had that problem last year, though, setting the edge.
Yeah.
Opposite Sweat.
But I got to get on the phone with
DeMarcus Walker is pretty. DeMarcus Walker's pretty solid setting the edge.
Yeah.
Yeah, DeMarcus Walker is great at setting the edge, but I'm willing to give him up to get Jalen Allen.
Yeah, if we get a high caliber piece, and now I'm not saying this is even rumors, it's just something I kind of made it up as trading Walker as part of that package, just because the cap hit for him is so low, and you're losing $8 million in salary to do it. You can go sign that extension with the high caliber player like a Jonathan Allen or a Trey Hendrickson. Those are I don't want a mid-level guy in return. I want a star. I want a star, a Pro Bowl. We need more Pro Bowlers on both the offensive and defensive line. We do that. There's no one stopping us.
Your Trey Hendricks breakdown was pretty legit. It makes sense.
In my own little GM cap world, it makes sense, but who knows? I don't think the Bengals are willing to trade him is the thing.
Yeah, I think if they was going to trade him, it would have happened already.
They already extended him last year, so he's got this year and next year. I think they're basically playing hardball and saying, "No, you play out this year, and then we'll talk about an extension at the end of this year." Yeah. I don't think they're. He's stuck.
There was a rumor I heard somewhere about Tyree Wilson possibly being going to trade.
Yeah, a lot of people are floating out that trading, and I don't know. Maybe he's on the 2nd year of his deal, though. Would we give up on a defensive end that we picked in the 1st round? I don't think so. I think those are just rumors too.
Yeah, I just wonder. I mean, because I'm of the belief that still it'd be hard for Poles to want to pay top dollar for 2 defensive ends. I mean, you're paying top dollar for Sweat. I can't see him paying top because I heard, before people were talking about Max Crosby and all that. It's like, no, I can't see Poles paying that much money for 2 defensive ends. Now, defensive tackle, yeah, but 2 defensive ends, no, because I think if I'm not mistaken, I heard him say he put a value on a position, and I don't know if he's going to double down and put that value like we talked about with the wide receivers. I mean, he's doing it right now with Keenan Allen and DJ Moore. That's why I don't believe Keenan Allen will be back next year, because they're just doing that to develop Caleb this year. So I don't see him.
There's few positions you do that with, but defensive end is one of those you would do that with.
You saw it on Hard Knocks. Clearly, they
wanted to do it with Judon.
They wanted to give him an extension too.
But they didn't do the extension because whatever contract they offered Judon, he didn't want.
Well, he said that he didn't want actually, what I heard he said was he wanted to go to whatever team, and he's like, that team doesn't know me. I want to prove myself to that team again before they offer me a contract. I want them to, I want to play out this year with them so they can see what they have in me before I let them offer me a contract.
Which tells me that he wasn't offering no $20-something million a year.
He's 32 years old. I think he's expecting someone to pay him 28-year-old money and not 32-year-old money.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean,
it's not that the Bears weren't willing to offer him, say, $18 million a year, but maybe he wants $25 million a year. And
again, that's why I say what I'm saying is I don't see Poles offering top tier money to 2 defensive ends.
I think we're saying the same thing, but I think Poles would if it wasn't a 32-year. I think he would offer Trey Hendrickson $25 million a year for sure.
You believe
29?
Yeah. I don't. So
look, we're not even paying. Who do we have on the offense? You have to look at both sides of the ball. We're not even paying anyone in the offensive line. I mean, nobody. Our offensive line is one of the cheapest in the league.
Yeah, but we're due this year with Kevin.
Yeah, if he stays healthy and he's worth it. and absolutely pay him, but then you still have 4 other positions you're not paying.
Who's the highest paid guy on the line? Bates?
Coleman,
Shelton?
4
Davis.
million is 4 million our most expensive one.
Davis.
It's either one of
Oh,
those
Davis
two.
is $10 million for Davis.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
It's Davis.
Oh, that's right. Right. And but this is probably, I mean, if he doesn't, he ain't going to be here next year unless he does something this year.
Yeah, he'll be cut for a $2 million cap hit unless he performs. And we're kind of hard on him, but he played really well 2 years ago. We'll see what he does when the season hits.
Yeah. Well, I brought this up because he hasn't played against any first stringers yet either.
He hasn't really
Good point.
played at all.
He has not.
Good point.
You know who I like, and I think we talked about this, or you might have brought somebody. I think you mentioned him, Matt Pryor at right guard, the Buffalo game.
Yeah, he's played really, really well.
He was stonewalling guys. He had guys on the ground in that game.
And he has a lot of good experience. He's just getting
Yes.
older, and I think that's why he didn't get a big contract. But he's played really well with Indy. He's played really well with the Niners in limited role. So I like Matt Pryor as well. I like him a lot.
And I just, that's a Poles type of guy, man, because he can play all of those positions if need be in a pinch.
Mm-hmm.
But his strong point, if you look at it statistically, is right guard. So it was a wise pickup for insurance for Nate.
I still would trade Dave. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'll trade him if I could for James Daniels in a heartbeat.
Well, yeah,
I promise I would.
We're in fucking Shorty's procrastinating. Oh no, that's
Man.
Pontificating,
procrastinating, pontificating bastard.
I mean, because even in this preseason, I mean, like you said, he's been only the most he's blocked against with second stringers, and he just hasn't looked overwhelmingly good like he did in his contract year in Tennessee before we signed him.
He doesn't look up to shape yet.
That's Dan's contract year theory seems to be right about 80% of the time.
Man, it's right towards Davis for sure.
Yeah, it's players in their contract year. They have their best. That's why I'm expecting Tevin Jenkins to have a.
I was just gonna say, let's bring this up. This will be Tevin Jenkins' greatest year of his career.
Absolutely.
I'm in agreement with Dan. That's I don't know, it just is. Hope I'm wrong, man. I hope we're wrong, but
Well, let's just see him lead Caleb into the end zone 20 times. Come on, follow me.
Be fucking sweet.
Follow me.
Let's just. How about we don't even get there? We just have Roman Dunze just catch that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, that'll work. The painting crew is never going to make that mistake again. They're going to have solid lines across the field every single time from now on.
Man.
It was actually like the best word I can come up with is it was adorable, wasn't it? He just like perfectly has his feet just outside of the.
Who was the other wide receiver right there when you watch the playback though? He puts his hands on his head like, no.
Yeah.
It was so funny to
And
watch.
Scott, I think that was Scott. I thought that
It was Scott. Yeah.
It was.
He was like, ah.
See, that's what I'm saying. I mean, because he was like wide open because his defender ran towards the goal line and left him like back to the end zone. And I'm like, dude, how do you drift that far to where it's not like the guy was like 3 feet from you? He was literally 10 yards from you, and you go to way back to where you're out of bounds. Come on, man. What you doing?
I love how his interview with Stacey Dales after the game. He was like, it was a rookie mistake.
Because he was wide open. I mean, wide. I'm like, golly.
But that was all part of the scramble drill. I love how they're, that play, that deep ball to Adunze was supposed to be just an out route, but then when he started scrambling, he didn't hit him on it. He like just took off upfield. God, I mean, when they can start making plays like that, I mean, that's just
highlight reel.
Man, that's why I'm saying, like, with the Bears being so just known for not having quarterbacks, it would just be so serendipitously like fitting that they would become the first team to win the Super Bowl with a rookie quarterback because of the talent of this kid and the talent that they have stacked around him. And that's why I truly believe it. Chiefs, Bears. We're going to beat the Chiefs.
Let me be honest.
I don't
here
think
for
the
a
Chiefs are
second.
making it back.
Thank you, Adam.
Well, let me be honest for a minute. What does serendipitous mean?
It's like
You said it
meant
like
to
3
be.
times now.
It was like meant to be,
Oh, okay.
Like fate.
like fate. Yeah,
There we go. That's
Oh,
good.
okay.
yeah.
I just had to ask.
It feels like that's Caleb's fate. It feels like it's the Bears' fate to me. It's in my gut. My gut's telling me, man.
I
Get
think
on the train with
Caleb
me,
has
guys.
every single record posted and ready to win and beat. Starting with no first round quarterback starts week 1 and wins it. I think he's got that one. I want to win week 1. And
I'll be
then
at that game, by the way.
the most wins by a rookie quarterback, 13. Check that one off. I'm going to win 14.
Ooh.
And then win the Super Bowl. Check that one off. I think he's that competitive.
Yeah, I would agree.
Hey, if he wants to get 80, better start right now.
Yeah, I think I agree with that. I think that he has that competitiveness in him to want to break all the records. I do agree with that because Rome has even said he want to break all the rookie receiving records. So yeah, I agree with both. I mean, I agree with both of them wanting to break records. Whether or not it happens is another story. But yeah, I believe they really want to do it. Yes.
Yeah. Of course. Why would they not want to? I mean, set your
Right.
goals high. So going back to what you said, PJ, I'm going to give you some validity here. What's our most expensive unit right now, guys? Out of all positions, I just looked it up. I didn't realize this. I thought it was wide receiver.
Oh, that was going to be my guess.
Our most expensive unit?
Yeah.
Defensive
Positional
line.
unit. Defensive line is our most expensive unit.
We
And
got
then
20.
wide receiver, and then secondary.
Yeah,
So
where are the linebackers?
Linebackers are behind the offensive line even. But
Wow.
there's less, and this is not counted. When we cut
noticed.
down, it's going to be a little different.
Yeah,
But the offensive line is $39 million.
because I'm looking at it and I mean I'm thinking about it and it's like out of the defensive line, you got
Well, Sweat and Walker alone count for $33 million.
yeah.
okay, because Sweat's making what 24 and then
25.
Walker's making 8 or 25 and then 28. I mean then 8. Then I know Phillips is making 4.
3.5, yeah.
So yeah, okay.
Well, we
it's-
have so many on the defensive line. Once they cut down, it'll be a little bit less, but you get a lot of contracts there. They've been signing so many defensive tackles, just trying to figure something out. I mean, we signed, what was it, 4 undrafted free agents this year?
Yeah.
Deshaun
Yeah.
Mallory, Jalen Hutchings, Keith Randolph, and Jamari Chroma, all undrafted, just trying to find something, which is why I think we're going to pick someone up there.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And we haven't got nothing out of Martin.
But it's the same on the O line.
been
too,
injured.
'cause if you take out Bates and Coleman, they're at $25 million.
Well, Wright, as a rookie contract, his is almost $5 million this year because it was a first-round pick, though.
I forgot that
Right.
was a big. Braxton's reasonable though, and everybody else was reasonable.
Oh,
Well,
yeah,
that's the same thing
Braxton's
when
real
you
cheap.
when you were talking about Tyree Wilson, though. With us, he's an expensive. He was a top 7 pick, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think he was number 7.
So that's expensive. That's expensive contract for a rookie. It's
Yeah.
not like that's a cheap contract either.
Wait, who are you talking about?
Tyree
Tyree
Wilson.
Wilson for the Raiders.
That's true. But they're not going to give up on him. He's not like Alex Leatherwood, where he was a worthless, lazy piece of crap. He just hasn't panned out so far as a top 7 pick.
Yeah.
But you keep working with those guys.
Yeah. Yeah. But I'm
So,
still on a Jonathan Allen bandwagon.
I like
I'm
it.
hoping.
I'll jump on there with you.
I'm hoping. And maybe that'll light a fire underneath Dexter.
So
Because I'm not trying to give up on Dexter either.
no,
I just think he needs a push.
how can you? I mean, how?
Samo was pointing out on Twitter how he's slow out of his stance.
But he was looking good in
Talk
training
about that
camp.
coming out of college.
They said that, yeah, that was when he was coming out of college. Yeah.
But he put together a bunch of clips on Twitter that was like clear. I mean,
Well, here
clearly a step.
we talked about where he's playing. He's got what? You said he had a couple decent pass rushes, and that was in the Buffalo game, right? Or was that the Bengals game?
Probably a Buffalo game.
Okay, so also in that game, he was in the backfield, didn't get the plays at least 2 times that I saw in the Buffalo game.
Yeah.
So those were against Buffalo starters. Again, I just refer back to that. So, but how could you give up on him in his second year, no matter what anybody says? You don't do it with anybody else, hardly.
Yeah, I just think that I mean, for me personally, when I'm looking at Dexter and watching his get off, it's like it's not consistently fast. I don't know if his stance is wrong to where is he standing up before he actually rush, because if you have your butt too low as a defensive lineman, if it's too low, your first instinct when you're coming out of your stance is to stand up, as opposed to if you have your butt higher up like a sprinter, their first step is now forward. When your butt is higher, your step is forward as opposed to standing up. So maybe he needs to clean that part of it up to where, and then shoot your gap, know what gap you're going in, shoot that gap as opposed to striking the man, strike half of the man on a half that's in your gap, if that's making sense.
Well, if you're a 3 tech, you have one job. That's to shoot the gap off the right guard or off the guard. I mean, that's what a 3 tech is. You're going through the 3 hole. Your job is that. So you're spot on. If you watch tape of Jervon Dexter and Jalen Carter, it's not even close.
Yeah, but sometimes that 3 technique is then also responsible for the A gap.
Right, you're not always going to shoot but that's what your
Right.
job in a 3 technique defense. Your job is to shoot that gap off the guard and create pressure. That is your sole job. Sometimes you're going to have to line up different depending on how the offense lines up. Sometimes you're going to have to go straight up on the guard. Sometimes you're going to have to go even all the way in between the guard and the center. Just depends on their scheme. But I'm with
sometimes
you. I need to see more out of him.
Sometimes you lined up as the guard shade, and then you swoop over to the A gap as a wrinkle to it, because I've seen defenses do that numerous times. You line them up in the 3 technique, then you still have them loop to get in that A gap, because you give them that deception. So I mean, I just think, I don't know if he understands that, as far as, okay, your job is to shoot that gap, because if you wait 4 years,
understand that
3 years of where you're paying 2 gap, maybe it's hard for him to transition to that 1 gap system, to where you now, okay, it's not my responsibility to hold up the blocker no more. It's my job now to just shoot the gap. And sometimes your just natural instincts goes back to what you've been doing for the last 3 years. Because I've seen players in the high school level do it, and still trying to transition now to a 1 gap, and it's like, okay, it's kind of hard to do.
Right here, the problem. Sometimes, man.
I mean, it can be. I'm not saying it can't be overcome, but maybe that's probably what the problem is, where that's why he's not doing it consistently enough.
It's easier for some people.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not even going to say. I'll say a little bit, because I played 2 positions, and a lot of times, man, we had 18 guys on a team, so a lot of guys played offense and defense for the whole game. And it was a mess going from free safety to halfback just within a game. But I had been doing it, and it still was hard to do, especially younger.
Yeah.
It's all about repetition.
Absolutely.
It is repetition, memory, movement. There's so many factors involved, but it's the way this works too.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's going on 1:30 for me.
Holy crap. Did you cook anything? Vacuum the lawn?
No, I'm coming home this weekend for 3 weeks. So,
Closing down
Foster,
Chicago. Closing Chicago down now.
yeah, I'll be up in I'll be staying up in a hotel in West Chicago for work. Foster,
A lot of the criminals used to stay out in West Chicago there in the 30s.
Oh, good stuff. I like 1930s criminals. Those are the kind of guys I want to hang out with. You know what I mean?
I see.
See here, those are the guys I want to hang out with. Foster, you see. So Foster, Bearsky and I are meeting up for beefs on Tuesday. Johnny's Beef. If you want to come out with us, beef.
I'm game.
All right.
I got to call him. I keep missing his calls and forgetting to call him back.
Don't worry, Bearsky. He's been doing that with us too.
Yeah, but you guys are doing it too on purpose.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Oh, okay.
I'm joking, dude.
I'm glad it's confirmed.
I wondered.
Dude, I don't know what I'm doing in 5 minutes from now.
You're gonna forget I invited you out for Johnny's Beef.
Probably.
Johnny's Beef on Tuesday. This
Some
Tuesday.
more people behind that panel.
Yes, today is Thursday, so the coming Tuesday.
And
7,
Dan
8
and Paul
o'clock.
are going to be the last two victims.
Cut down day.
You're close.
Oh,
to that,
yeah.
right? Oh yeah, cut down day. Yeah. We'll have
We'll
a
have to
Johnny's
pull out
Beef.
the phones and ask people at the beef joint because it's huge in Chicago.
Oh yeah,
what they think. We'll have to see if we can get some reaction. You got to remind me to do that too because I'm going to forget.
dude.
Remember when I used to do these things when I had a life and I did things?
Yeah, I've been thinking about changing your name from media relations manager to. I had it earlier in the show. I forgot it.
Dick?
No. God, it was so perfect.
Who?
I couldn't get I couldn't get an edge in to say it. I was going to interrupt somebody, so I just I kept it. It was good though. Yeah, let's meet up on Tuesday for some Johnny's Beef, my friend.
All right.
Oh, so you're in the chat. Go ahead and join them too, man. You know, they'll be there.
Yep.
Oh yeah, no, I was going to say last night on Dan and Aldo, like he was in downtown Chicago and he got a bunch of clips of fans, you know, like he had like a sucks or stud segment where he picked a player like Eddie Jackson and just like got people's reactions on the street. Might be kind of fun to do something like that.
There you go.
Thank you, Iceberg.
Are we going to go beef joint hopping? From what Paulie's saying, he's got a list of them.
Yeah, he said there's a Mr. D's that he thinks is better than Johnny's, but they close at 5 o'clock, and there's no way I can get there at 5 o'clock. I probably won't be like 7 or 8 for me.
Bobo's is always open too, though. They're open late. Irving and Cumberland.
What did you say, PJ?
I don't know if I'll go to a place called Mr. D's. I don't know.
Dude, I told Bearsky, like I'm an Italian beef connoisseur, man. I don't care. I'll eat this one here. Go there and get that one to go for later, and I'll go get we'll go to that place and get that one for tomorrow.
Hey Adam, you might want to help him out, man. Tell him don't go to a place called Mr. D's, bro. I'm telling you.
I'm out of this one.
I'm
not even gonna.
Hey, my name's
that's all Shorty style there, Pete.
Hey, my name's Dan. I took it as like Mr. You know, that's what I would name it. Mr. D's.
Go with Shorty D's. Oh,
okay.
Wait. Shorty D's.
Okay.
If I had a place and I tried to spell my last name, that nobody would get it. It's
here.
You got to go to school.
Here's where we should go for like everything and anything. Believe it or not.
Dino's, huh?
And
right
I
there in
don't care if
Harlem,
you want beef or matter of fact, their cheesy beefs on garlic bread are fucking amazing. Okay. There's a guy on CHGO even that talks about this place. I was going, all right, and then I found like 20 other people because they've been there fucking 50, 60
Forever?
years, man.
Yeah,
it's the same shit.
Okay. BLT, fine. I'll go get a beef and bring a pizza home.
All I know is I'm gonna hit.
So you can vacuum your lawn.
I'm gonna hit up your chat next time I come to Chicago because there's clearly some food connoisseurs in here.
Just hit me up, dude. I know every place. I've been here.
Iceberg Slim, I got you, bro.
Mm-hmm.
These guys are right too, though. I mean,
I didn't realize where we stayed last time. My brother and I were there end of last month, watch some Cubs games. I didn't realize we were staying in an area that had so many rainbows all over the street.
Okay.
You guys know right where I stayed, obviously.
Yeah.
Right down by Wrigley. It was pretty. It was pretty rainbowed.
Lots of rainbows.
You're go closer to O'Hare, man, because then you can get to everything you want. But then all the great shit's around you. Your head stay on the northwest.
There was a really good little breakfast place right across the street from our hotel, though.
I bet.
And they had the free cinnamon rolls.
I
gotta look it up. I gotta look up what it was.
You know, it's a good place. They have good breakfast sausage.
There's your hot dog place.
You like sausage a lot.
Okay. That's what I'm trying to mean. Look. You know what I'm saying?
Everybody knows Gene and Jude's. Vienna literally makes Gene and Jude's own brand of hot dogs. The only place you can get it is at Gene and Jude's. It's been that way since, I think, 1946.
I like how you said that. Gene and Jude's is the way.
Yes. And then you can buy them in the box, but they're really expensive. But they're specifically made for just this hot dog stand, Gene and Jude.
See, and
Vienna back then was a real small company, man, and this was their thing, man. And then, now I know people shipping to Vienna shit to Colorado and Florida.
Colorado. That's exactly how they say it. People in the state of Colorado, they pronounce it Colorado.
Colorado.
Doug Van Doren saying, I've passed Superdog hundreds of times, only stopped there a few times. Do you guys like Superdogs? Because I don't.
Superdog's overrated. It's a nice looking product, but it's overrated. It's in a box. It looks great. They've got all the expensive condiments. It's a Vienna dog. It's wrapped up nice. It's a nice experience to visit if you go when they're doing a car show with all the old cars in it. But it's way overpriced, man. Gene and Jude's is you get a pile of French fries and a Vienna dog, a specially made Vienna dog, and a long Marianne sesame seed bun with all the Chicago fixings, and that's only mustard, relish, onion, and sport peppers. If you ask for ketchup in there, they'll throw you out the door.
Well, of course, but they don't put pickles and tomatoes on it.
You have to have a dog with ketchup on it. You have to.
No, you can have one of these. Just try one. There you go. Just try.
I think Adam just showed that
Adam,
from Chicago.
I used to agree with you in my younger days, but I mean, just try one, because the original Chicago hot dog is
I like Chicago dogs without ketchup.
Green relish, onions, and sport pepper.
So there's a place out here called Windy City Beefs. That's the closest thing you get.
What?
There's a place out here called Windy City Beefs. It's the closest thing you get to it. But I like a Chicago dog fixed the right way without ketchup. I'm just trying to be funny.
So wait, are you trying to say that the original didn't have pickles and tomatoes and celery salt?
No.
Well,
why does your guys' relish out there, like at Wrigley and at some of those places, look so deep, fake green?
It looks like it's
because it is dyed,
like it's full of radiation, right?
Why? Why do you do that?
I don't know.
It's presentation, dude. You're in Chicago.
Yeah, that's how we roll.
It's gotta look great.
All right, now I'm starving. All right, guys, let's wrap this up.
Gene and Jude's. It's on the way home.
Wait, so is Gene and Jude's close to over there by Johnny's on Tuesday, or where's that at?
Actually, yeah, it's not too far. You're going from Franklin Park to River Grove or Elmwood Park. They're not far.
Okay.
They're not.
When I come back out to Chicago, I'm gonna record a video of me eating a Chicago dog with as much loaded up ketchup on it as possible, just to get the reaction. Look at the. I'm just gonna upset everyone on purpose.
Man.
Yeah, I hear you, Bearsky. It sucks not having food.
You fit right in with Bearsky there, Adam. Just upset people purposely. There.
I just ignored you. Once you said you were doing that,
Dude, I want to see the video, man.
I'll do it. Hey, you guys have to realize I lived in Canada for 2 years.
You might lose some of your followers.
All I remember this is how they indoctrinate you. When I was a kid, I always had ketchup on my dog, right? And then I went to a Cubs game, and I remember it like a couple of dogs, only a couple of packets of mustard. And I remember being a kid, just like, what? It's all I can do is put mustard on this, and then, then by your 10th Cubs game, you're like, yeah, I like it with mustard. Then you just grow up and you're like, yeah, that's just how it is. It's like they indoctrinate us when we're young.
They get a lot of indoctrination going around there, that rainbow stuff, huh? What's up there, Notorious TBG?
What's up, Notorious? We're just about to sign off, man. It's only 1:30 in the morning for me.
I feel like it's 1:30. I've been on these things are driving a dent into my head after 6 hours of this.
Your ears are starting to hurt.
They are. You see me adjusting a lot. It's going on 6 hours of having these things on my head.
Well, Adam, thank you very much for hopping on with us. It's always
man. Appreciate
Thanks
you.
for having me. Hey, thanks for sending the invite. It's always fun to jump in with you guys. It's a lot of
absolutely,
fun.
man. You're welcome anytime. Just send you a link anytime, man. You're welcome. Love to have you on here with us.
Yeah, you come on here and you don't insult us, man. So you're welcome to come back anytime.
Well, he did say he's gonna put ketchup all over a hot dog. That was kind of insulting.
That's not insulting to me. I mean, I get it.
I only insult Carl because he's not around. That's just kind of the low down guy that I am. I just insult him once in a while around.
Foster, you got the whole family in here tonight. You got Chris Foster in here now.
Is he?
Oh, is that? Oh no, that's
that
Caleb the Clown versus top 25 defenses. They played. All right, get out of here, Caleb. Caleb the Clown. Is this a troll here?
I don't know. I don't even see it.
Yeah, where you at, man?
It might be someone that changed their name, so we all have them blocked already.
Oh, is that on Twitter or something?
Yeah, well, actually, no. I see it on my Mr. Shorty side, but I don't see it in our chat here.
Yeah.
He says Caleb the Clown. He says Caleb the Clown versus top 25 defenses. Day they played 6 touchdowns and 6 interceptions, 172 yards per game average.
But those are all fake stats. Those have all been debunked. He's bringing up something that's absolutely false and fake. It's
Christ, mommy in the stands, avoids PD after a loss, 32 fumbles in 36 games.
That's Chris Foster, no relation. I've seen him around.
Yeah, I have too. He's a troll. I get it. Well, thanks for hopping in with us, troll. It's always that's when you know you made it. We got a lot of people in here watching from Twitter right now. I want to thank all you guys. Everybody,
a truther, I bet.
Everybody in chat, we want to thank you guys for hanging out with us tonight. Notorious TBG, sorry that we're signing off right now, man. It was a fun show. Doug Van Dorn, Cliff Victoria, B. Foster, Bearski. We're going to end the show here in a minute with a video that Bearski sent us. So we'll sign off with that. Thank you to Bearski. If anyone, you guys know the 7 podcast that Tyson Bagent was on? No. So they reached out to Bearski or got his permission for a video of his. And so he ended up making one for them to play. So we're going to play that as we close out the show. Oh, there's the Chris Foster the comment comes in here. So to everyone in chat, who do we got here? AC Adam, thanks for hanging out with us tonight. Iceberg Slim, great to see you again.
Iceberg Slim.
We have
7 was in here earlier.
Way too rough with 2 $4.99 super chats. Thank you so much,
it, man. Truly appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Mr. Mayhem was in here.
Mr. Mayhem, good to see you again.
With Victoria, as always.
Cliff, love you, Cliff.
My brother from another mother.
Let me get rid of that Hard Knocks thing so we can.
Doug Van Dorn.
We're screwing this up, Dan.
Tin Pan Dog. There we go.
That's got to be the best, the best name on the internet ever.
That and
Pan Dog.
I also like Trapakeepa.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
That's a good one too. Let's see who else we got in here. You got to keep going so far up, but we appreciate all you guys. We really do. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us tonight. I mean, there's a lot going on tonight. This is our normal Thursday night, so that's why we did a pregame and a postgame. We appreciate you guys hanging out with us. Foster, Bearski, I'll see you on Tuesday for Italian Beefs. And we'll see you guys next Thursday. I'll be in a hotel. That's always fun. And then we're going to end this on a Bearski.
We're going to be doing our prediction. Not next week or the week after. Is that what it is?
Prediction for what?
The season.
Next week.
We already did it.
We said we was going to do another one after the preseason games, bro.
I'm sticking with 13-4, baby.
Oh, okay.
It's got to be 14-3 at least.
Oh, okay. So okay, well, yes.
Caleb's got to break some records, man.
Yeah, okay, all right.
You guys notice how many Fosters are around tonight?
Hey, Chris Foster, you're the clown, okay? You're the clown.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Got that on the Razor's voice.
That's
now.
it.
Hold on.
You're the clown.
Yeah. Don't pick on our Chris Foster.
Raging Oracle.
Raging Oracle, what is up?
Eduardo Isaac. How you pronounce that, Shorty? Go ahead.
Eduardo Isaac Rodriguez. Thank you for joining us. Thank you, Eduardo. To answer your question, Raging, how did they do? They were up 34-7 at one point with like 9 minutes to go in the fourth. And then just a bunch of crazy, fourth stringer plays happened. They turned the ball over a couple times, and
John Jackson can't hold on to the ball.
Yeah, they got back into it, but we won 34 what?
21.
Definitely catch the highlights.
Yeah.
I don't care if you're Caleb.
Great highlights in there, Bears wise.
Bearski might have some of Bajan's highlights from tonight in here, for all I know, in this video I'm about to play for you.
Yes, I think. At least he's got up to last week's.
Paul does some good
he's
work
got
on
tonight's in there
those
too.
video compilations.
Plus some Hard Knocks page and stuff, and tonight's highlights. For those of us who haven't seen the Hard Knocks page and stuff.
You know what? Even though we're about to end the show, I think I'm just going to ban and delete this Chris Foster just because I can. There's nothing left to say on this show, and I'm gonna ban you anyway.
Good job.
See, there's always one fucked up Foster in the bunch.
Hey, I'm looking forward to this. I'm looking forward to this Paul video, this Bearski villain video.
Yeah, let's do it.
You make some great stuff, dude. Keep it up.
Yep, absolutely.
Absolutely, man. Appreciate you sharing your videos with us. We'll go ahead and play that for you, for everyone right now. We'll see you guys next Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern time. Let's end this shit out of 1,
whether you like it or not.
1, 2, 3.
Bears.
The Bears.
Tyson Bagent moving to his left. The throw down. This got a wide open receiver. Sybil Webster.
in high school, 5 years in college, over 17 turnovers. He's lined up on the near side of the outside receiver. Major flips it down the sideline. Tyson Major even shows improvement from last year. That's quick on a fade route from the slot.
To taking advantage of these last weeks of the preseason.
I just got to say, look at how much bigger Tyson Bagent is this year compared to last year. Wow. And Bearski, fantastic job. Thank you for sharing that with us. You guys have a great night. Bear down.